Hello and welcome to Worthy Women Healing. I am Lisa Czak, your host, helping women heal their mind, bodies, and souls one trigger at a time. Don't forget to like, rate, review, subscribe, all the things so that even more women can get healed and be the woman that God created them to be. On today's episode, we are talking about the myth of somatic release, somatic exercises. Stay tuned. So, in case you don't know, I am also a certified personal trainer and a subject matter expert for the National Federation of Personal Trainers. Now, why am I telling you all this? I'm not doing it just to toot my own horn, which, by the way, is incredible because I used to be a gym class loser. I used to have girls, spit on me because I didn't make the basket in basketball, or I'd be the last one picked in gym class. And yet, here I am rattling off these titles to you. Praise Jesus, miracles do happen. My point of telling you all of that is because I see and hear a lot out there about somatic release for trauma, for healing trauma, right? Somatic release programs, somatic release experts, somatic exercises, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with those. I'm not saying that, it's bad or it's going to harm you in any way. No, of course not. What I'm telling you is, as a certified personal trainer, I can tell you that you don't need one more program like that. You don't need to spend money, maybe that you don't have, on these somatic special exercise programs, somatic code. You don't need it, right? Trauma is not the event that happened to you, it's how your body responds to the event. So these somatic exercises, right, they claim to release the trauma, release the trapped energy, release the blockages. I'm here to tell you that you only just need to move your body. The quickest way to change a thought is to move your body. If you are reeling in your head over what happened to you and you just can't stop, you can't get out of the continuous replay loop that's going on in your head of what he said or what she said or what happened to you or how you responded or fill in the blank, right? And you can't sleep at night, even with a sleeping pill. And you have good days and bad days, but your bad days are really bad because of the reeling, the replay that's going on in your head over and over and over again. What you need to do is simply move your body, because moving your body gets you out of your mind, right? And into your body. And this is probably not a popular opinion, but it's the truth. I've seen it over and over and over again with the hundreds, thousands of women I've worked with, that the more vigorous the exercise, the more benefit you're going to get. Those natural endorphins are going to go firing away, dopamine, serotonin, those are all the feel-good hormones, right? That's why people take antidepressants, to fire up their dopamine, to fire up their serotonin. And I'm telling you, exercising can have the same effect, any kind. You want a special somatic exercise? Stand up. Stand up right now. Stand up. Give me 50 burpees and tell me if while you're doing those burpees, you're still reeling in your head. You can't get out of your head, right? Or say you're stuck in fight, flight, or freeze. Okay? Fight, that's easy, right? You're fighting. You want to fight for yourself. You want to defend yourself. So that doesn't really apply here. Flee, if you're feeling like fleeing, go for a run. Go move your body. That's your body saying to you, it's a trauma response, but your body saying to you, girl, you gotta move me. You gotta move me to heal me right about now. If you're stuck in freeze, which I was, which I talked about, I think in one of my shorts or one of my videos here, about how after my mom died, I would put all my gym clothes on, I'd drive to the gym, and I'd sit in the car and just stare off for hours. I know what's wrong with me, right? And I do this for a living. It's much different teaching it and experiencing it, right? And finally, one day, I just had to force myself. I just had to say, move, get out of the car, get out of the car. And I actually did hire a trainer to help me because I knew that I needed accountability, right? If you're doing what I was doing, getting your gym clothes on and just not making it to the gym, it's worth every penny to spend money on a trainer, or tell a friend you're going to meet them there, because you're not likely going to just skip out on a friend or someone that you're paying to meet you there, to get you out of that. The other trauma response is fawn, right? That's where you just simply, okay, yes. You just kind of agree just to keep the peace, even though you know, like, whatever you're keeping the peace about is causing turmoil in you. And triggers, same thing with triggers, right? All of these exercises, these somatic exercises that you see, advertised and everything, like I said, there's nothing wrong. They're not going to hurt you, right? But you don't need one more thing that you got to worry about going to or being at, right? And you have to remember, I got to remember, what was that special exercise I'm supposed to do? That can stress you out even more, right? I don't remember. Was it cat-cow? Was it downward dog? Was it, what was it? I can't remember. I don't remember how to do it. Instead, just simply move your body. You can start by finding something that you really like to do. Turn on music and start dancing, right? Do jumping jacks, do burpees. But I'm telling you, trust me on this, the more vigorous the exercise, the more benefit you will get out of it. The more trapped energy and trauma will be released, right? You'll be dripping with sweat, releasing toxins, and you will get out of your mind so fast. I used to be an addictions counselor, and that's what we would tell the people who had all kinds of addictions. I worked with people who had heroin addiction, cocaine addiction, really bad, right? And one thing that was part of the program that they had to do is every morning at 4 a.m. in the desert in Tucson, I had to take them out on a hike. And why did we do that? And there was coyotes howling, right? It's still dark. The stars are shining. It's cold in the morning in Tucson, unless it's in the summer. And we did that because they're up here too much. They are going crazy, reeling in their brains. All the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, right? Maybe thinking about their drug of choice, craving it, right? Not being able to think of anything else. And so we simply took them on a hike, and it was a vigorous hike that we took them on. Just the mere fact that it was at 4 a.m. and it's dark and there's coyotes howling, they weren't thinking about much else in their mind, right? They're thinking about, how do I get through this hike? How do I not? Like, the second they stop focusing on the path in front of them that they were hiking, they would trip and fall or run into something. Or a jumping cholla, that's a cactus, jumping cholla cactus, would attach to their pant leg or their sneaker. And it's no different than Jesus tells us, right? Remember when Jesus was walking on the water, and the one disciple, I think it was Matthew, I don't remember, said, okay, if you're really the Messiah, I'm going to walk on the water too to you. And Jesus is like, okay, come on, come. So he steps out of the boat onto the water. And mind you, there's storm going everywhere, right? The storm, there's like waves and it's like a tsunami basically. And it'd be hard enough to walk on the water without a tsunami happening, right? I mean, we don't just walk on the water. So he was focusing on Jesus and he was able to stay on top of the water and walk to Jesus. However, the storm got pretty bad, right? The tsunami, and he sees a wave coming at him and he takes his focus off and starts looking at the wave. Suddenly he starts sinking. So Jesus he's showing us the way, right? If you keep focusing on the storm, which is up here in your mind, the reeling, the replay, the reeling, and if you take your focus off and put it up here on the storm, you're going to sink. So that's why I recommend vigorous exercise, right? Or like a fast-paced Zumba class where you're trying to figure out the steps and everything. I love HIIT workouts. That's how I train women. That's how I lost 80 pounds. That's my go-to exercise is a HIIT class because it's fast-paced and you don't have time to think, right? I would not suggest going for a stroll or even just simply stretching because you still have space in there to think as you're stretching. Yoga would be good because you have to have balance and stuff in yoga, right? The second you start getting pulled back in that mind and your mind starts reeling, you're going to lose your balance and fall in yoga. You are only as sick as your secrets. It is time to stop suffering in silence and join other women who are also on a healing journey, who are being raw, real, vulnerable, and honest with what they are going through in their life, what they have been through in their life. And wherever two or more are gathered, we know God is with us. It says it right there in the Bible. So there is power to group healing. Miracles happen in there. You have one woman sharing, opening up her heart. Suddenly everyone else in the group is saying, yeah, I've experienced that. I'm not the only one. There's such power in knowing that you are not alone in your suffering. You are not alone in your healing. And we meet twice a month. And in between those times, a lot happens, right? And it's important that you have time in between the sessions to practice the healing technique that I teach you so you can come back into the group and celebrate with the other women. Hey, I actually remembered to do the healing technique in that moment. That trigger didn't derail me anymore. But it's practice. I'm also a personal trainer, right? You don't just get a six-pack abs by doing one sit-up. You have to keep doing it over and over again. You don't run a marathon. You don't go out and run 13.1 miles for a half marathon the first time, right? You practice running a little bit every day. And that is what we do in Worthy Woman Healing Group. Join today and tell yourself, I'm going to give this a 3-month commitment minimum because I know I need time to practice outside of these sessions and come in and get guidance from the other women on how to actually heal all of these wounds, heal my mind, body, and soul one trigger at a time. You are worth it. So remember, the quickest way to change a thought is to move a muscle. You don't need a specialized somatic release, somatic exercise program to do that. You don't have to use that as an excuse and wait, I got to find the perfect somatic release coach to do this. No, you could hire a trainer. You could just go to a gym class, right? Move your body to release the trauma, to get out of your mind. That's all I have to say about that. Maybe one of these days I'll actually take you through a training session, a Lisa training session. You won't be thinking about anything except, I don't want to die. I don't want to do this anymore. Remember, you are worth it.